What's up guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Sarah and today we are going to be doing the next video in our prepper series, and we're going to be really kicking it up a notch, and we are going to start Mylar bagging dry goods. Okay, so in the last video, we talked about just having extra dry goods in your cupboards. But as you'll notice, on all of the bags or containers of your dry goods, it'll have a best before date. So that's great if you've got enough of this stuff in your cupboard to last until that date. But what if for some reason you couldn't get more food after that date? Or what if you want to have, 8 bags of these beans and you don't eat all 8 bags by the best before date and now they're going to waste. So there's a really cool solution to that problem, and basically it is called a Mylar bag. So you can buy these Mylar bags in a variety of different sizes, and what you're going to do is put your food into the Mylar bag, and then you add an oxygen absorber, and these oxygen absorbers are basically going to suck up or eat up all of the oxygen in the bag, and the bag will then be sealed, and it extends the life expectancy of your dry goods. So these beans that are only good till 2023, if they've been placed into a Mylar bag with an oxygen absorber and sealed, the life expectancy of that food is extended for several years. In some cases, depending on the type of food, up to 25 years. So again, it'll depend on the variety of food, but yeah, that's what we're gonna start doing. So like I said, you've got your water situation sorted out, you've got extra canned goods in the cupboards, you have extra dry goods in the cupboards, and now we're gonna start really prepping, and we are gonna start buying even more dry goods, and we're gonna place these into Mylar bags and get those all stashed away for a real apocalyptic type of scenario. So when it comes to Mylar bags, like I said, you can get them in a variety of different sizes, and there will be different oxygen absorbers that correlate with those size of bags. My go-tos are basically I use a 1 quart bag or a 1 gallon bag, and this will depend on basically the size of the food bag that you need to put, right? So just as an example, I have some spaghetti noodles, and obviously they are not going to fit in this little tiny 1 quart bag, so I'd put them in a 1 gallon bag with a 300cc oxygen absorber. But then I also bought some supplements. So again, if you're just living off beans and rice, you probably want to have some supplements. So I bought these chlorella tablets, and they are going to go in a smaller bag. This little 1 quart bag is probably actually a little overkill. But yeah, that's what I would put these in, or say something smaller, like I had this little bag of cranberries, that could go in the 1 quart bag, and that will have a 100cc oxygen absorber in it. And you can get bags that are way bigger than a gallon, but for me personally, this is probably the biggest that I would go. And now I'm going to show you guys how to do that. First, what you want to do, you want to write on the bag. It's better to do it before you've put the stuff in the bag, right? Because it'll be flat. And you're going to write what it is that you're putting in the bag. So chlorella tablets. And then if there's a best before date, you would put that on there as well. Because like I said, each food is going to have the life expectancy extended by X amount of time, depending on the type of food. So if I know what the best before date is and what it is, then I can sort of calculate, oh, okay, well, it's been 5 years, these probably aren't good anymore, or, whatever. I'm also gonna write the date that it was packed into the Mylar bag. And then I just place the product into the bag, and then you wanna add in your oxygen absorber. Don't forget to put your oxygen absorber in there. So I've got a 100cc oxygen absorber for my 1 quart bag, which I'll place in there. And then I have this really handy little tool for sealing the bag. So I am going to seal this bag. Usually it's about 5 steamboats, and it doesn't get the whole bag, so I gotta do to both sides. Okay, so now I have my chlorella tablets in a bag, life expectancy extended, and then we'll just set that aside. Okay, let's do another one. Let's do these cranberries. I've got cranberries. Okay, this one's a little full, but I think it's gonna be okay. Okay, and then our 100cc oxygen absorber, and we seal the bag. Oh yeah, and so the other thing with these bags, you can buy the bags with the little notches on them so that later, you know, like I've sealed this, but later I can just tear it off, right? But I don't think it's a big deal. You can cut it if it doesn't have a knot. Done. Okay, so I have this big giant bag of sun-dried tomatoes. So obviously that's not gonna fit in my 1 quart bag. I'm gonna put it in a 1 gallon bag. Sun-dried tomatoes. I love sun-dried tomatoes. They're like one of my favorite foods. Okay, there we go. Don't forget your oxygen absorber. And seal the bag. Done. Okay, kombu. Okay, cool. So you guys kind of get the picture. Now we are going to talk about what the next step is, and that is where you are going to store all of these Mylar bags. Okay, the best way to store all of your Mylar bags is in food grade 5-gallon buckets. Why? Because you're going to have all these bags of food that you want to store for maybe up to years. And you want them protected from the elements, and you want them protected from rodents. So yeah, you're just going to put together all of these Mylar bags, and then you're going to stash them in these 5-gallon buckets. Like so. And then you place a lid on the bucket once it's full. I'm gonna pack this one a little bit better, well, with more stuff in it. So it's kind of nice when you've got the different sizes of Mylar bags too, because this can fit a couple of the 1-gallon bags, and then in any of the vacant spots, I would put some of the 1 quart Mylar bags. Now, you could follow whatever system you want here. Like it could be a whole bucket of beans or a whole bucket of rice. What I personally like to do is just kind of like mix and match so that I know this bucket of food has a variety of foods and nutrients in it. So it'll have some rice, some beans, some noodles, maybe a little bag of fruit, and maybe a little bag of like chia seeds or something like that. So I know, that this bucket has a variety of sustenance essentially. And then I will label the top with whatever's in the bucket so that I know when I'm looking for particular foods. So I'll just show you that really quickly. Okay, so then basically it's gonna go, you're gonna label the top. I just used some painter's tape, so it's just a wide masking tape to label the top with a Sharpie. And just as an example, this bucket has some penny noodles, some quinoa, green lentils, basmati and jasmine rice, some figs and some goji berries. So I have a variety of different foods and nutrients in this one bucket. And then what you're gonna do is you are going to stack these buckets in a cool, dry, dark place. So your garage, a cold storage room, your basement somewhere, something like that, and just keep stacking the buckets. The idea is that, with all of the extra canned goods and dry goods that you have in your cupboards, maybe your fridge and freezer also stocked, and so if things kind of went south, you would be able to survive up to a few weeks. And then when you start really prepping and getting a bunch of food into buckets and stacking these buckets somewhere, now you're looking at you could survive for a few months, or depending how far you go with this, you could survive a few years. So I think everyone should have like their cupboards stocked up like we talked about in the previous videos to kind of cover you for a few weeks, and definitely at least a couple buckets So you can start going towards those few months time frame. And then yeah, if you really want to get into this, keep going with the buckets and start working your way up to, okay, I could survive a few years if there was, you know, a total collapse of society and I can't buy food at a grocery store. This is good to do anyways because food prices just keep going up, right? So it's not like this is going to go to waste. Maybe, you know, next year you start dipping into your buckets because food's too expensive to buy, or this was cheaper, you bought it, you know, this year, and next year it's double the price or whatever. So anyways, that is my tip on starting to kind of move towards more hardcore prepping. Next, I guess we'll start talking about some of the other things that you might want to have, like emergency blankets or batteries. So we can keep going with the prepping thing, but this is a good start for you guys. Anyways, if you found the video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks again for joining me, and happy prepping.